Massive fleet of orbs over Iran 2026. What's happening?
All right, Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. Others like foreigners. I see the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. And I've seen this before. I don't know how true it is per se, but it wouldn't be surprising, if you know what I mean. All right. And this right here, I believe in the spirit is real, because it doesn't look like you just can clearly identify anything, and it's stationary. Anybody that's seen chariots, this could be believable, you know. But overall, what does this proves that the scriptures, everything in the scriptures is right, you know, through the spirit of the Lord. Everything that we've been taught was correct, because who's orchestrating all this stuff that's going around the world is the Lord. All right. And hey, we don't, how can I say it? We used to get a lot of visits years ago, maybe a year or two ago. But yeah, maybe, yeah, like a year or two ago. We used to get a lot of visits at the camp, right? Chariots always come to visit and so forth. We had fleets of chariots pass by. But of lately, I haven't seen any brother put up videos or, you know, it is nothing. I'm just bringing that up for a reason. Because our brother had put up, wow, it's been a while. I seen a video and a brother made a valid point. I forgot which brother it was, Salakia. He said, if you see chariots, know that it was sent to you. I believe it was a brother from Dallas, right? It's the way he said it, and it, you know, kind of dawned to me, you know, because when you do see chariots, you see chariots when you least expect it, and when you see them, these beautiful, you know, the chariots of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and when it's least expected, when you did not call for it, or you know, and it shows you how significant you are in the sight of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Not to boast or brag or make yourself, you know, think highly of yourself, but just know that you have a great, you know, a beautiful opportunity to be one of the elect of the Lord. Now they see the chariots, the heathen see the chariots, and like the scripture says, matter of fact, I'll start there. That would be Jeremiah 10 and 2. It said, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. So you could clearly hear these people, they're going crazy, seeing a whole bunch of chariots. And this, you've seen this before in the United States. It was during the pandemic. There's one particular video I remember, I believe it was in Jersey. And this is where I was told to stay at home. This is like pretty much the beginning of the pandemic. And you had a Jake that was in the car, him and his woman. It was like they was crying. You see that? See, this is why they tell us not to just to come outside. Look at that. And it was like a whole fleet of chariots up in the sky, and it was cursing. It was going crazy because it was in fear, because they don't understand what they're seeing. They should be afraid because the Lord, time to time, the Lord is not dealing with majority of His people. All right. Time to time, the Lord is not concerned about these people. So, but we of the that have the understanding, knowing these things, seeing these things, and now you get to earn the fact that if you see this, this is not no ordinary thing that you are seeing. And if you know the knowledge of it, all right, this is why it's a blessing when these things happen. So right now, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't heard from bros of seeing any chariots like they, normally, maybe one or two. I'm not too sure, but and the reason why we're not seeing them chariots like we normally would, because they're busy. This is like a holiday season, and it's called the end of the world. And they're busy right now. Okay, they're really starting this thing up. I seen another video, which I'm gonna do another video on it. The Lord's bringing out all the things that He said He has in His arsenal. And it says, "For the heathen are dismayed at them," and dismayed. When you go into that word, it says to be shattered, be dismayed, be broken, be abolished, be afraid. So the Lord said, when you see these things up in the sky, don't be afraid. But the heathens should be afraid. All right, 2/3 of the nation of Israel should be afraid, because that's sign is not a sign of good. That's a sign of the destruction. All right, this is how the elect is going to be delivered. So something that's so beautiful, that's so out of this world, is a sign of salvation and destruction. All right, real quick, since I said it's busy season, Revelation 12:12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them." So the heavens are rejoicing. This is the time. This is the end. The credit scene's about to come up. There's gonna be pure action in the fast pace. Like if you watch a good film, a real good film that has action, that has drama, that has all the good stuff in it that you can like, keep your mind going, keep you thinking. The best scenes are what? The last scenes. Why? Because everything speeds up. The storylines come to a close, comes to an end. All right. So the storyline coming to an end, the ones that's behind it, they're ensuring that the things come to an end. So they're happy, they're ecstatic, and we're happy, and the heavens been happy. You know why? Because we got the word. No more this wickedness that's going on. World War III is the end of Esau, is the end of his world, the end of wickedness, the end of evil. All right, which evil just means bad times, but which we in the beginning of the bad times for everybody. This is the time of judgment. All right, for all these, you know, gainsayers, all these scoffers, all these wicked individuals, men, women, children, the souls that came back. This is your end. All right, this is when you come. It comes to an end right now. So the angels are busy. Busy. They're in season. All right, it's like how you have down here the holiday season. Everything gotta go. You purchase stuff. Well, it's the same thing that has happened up there. All right, and it says, "Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." So they're speeding their thing up in their mind so they can cap their enterprise. Simultaneously, the heavens are showing they're about to destroy them. It's very interesting indeed. Okay. And this proves that, matter of fact, let me get a couple of scriptures. Let me get this one first. Daniel 10 and 12, straight to the point. Then said he unto me, fear not, Daniel. I'm sorry, let me go straight to the point. 13. You know what? Let me keep reading. From the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy power, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 1 and 20 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me and remained there with the kings of Persia, which is kind of ironic. He bringing this scripture up, show you that how the angels and them that was the Lord Yahweh Shai, saying that Michael had to go and help him so he could persuade the king of Persia, because men's minds were stronger back then. But what's happening now is the reversal. All right, you got weak minds that's ruling this world and is easy manipulated, just like DJ. All right, and making the mistakes that he's making because the angels are putting it in his mind to do these things. Why? Revelation 9 and 13. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the altar, the golden altar, which is before the Most High, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loosed. Now I want to get this real quick before I continue. I was reading this earlier too. Zechariah 6 and this was 4. I'm saying 1. And I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, behold, there came 4 chariots out of heaven. I said out from between the 2 mountains, and the mountains were mountains of brass. Which is talking about what? Chariot. And the 4 chariots were red horses, and the second chariot black horses, and the third chariot white horses, and in the fourth chariot gristled and bay horses. And I answered and said unto the angel that talked with me, what are these, my Lord? And the angel answered and said unto me, these are the 4 spirits of the heavens, which go forth from standing before the Lord at all the earth. So what that considered? North, west, south, east, the 4 corners of the earth. And the main focal point is in the Middle East. And what are they doing in the Middle East? They're working in the minds of the people. Okay? And that's what's happening. Right? What we're seeing right now is a display of, let's say, mind control, mind altering, whatever you want to call it. People think they got free will. You never have free will. You're doing the will of the Lord. And all the shit that's stirring up in the Middle East, that wasn't by accident. That was not by coincidence. Like the scripture says, matter of fact, we get this one. Zephaniah 3 and 5. It says, 3 and 8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey for my determination. So it's the Lord's determination, his will, his thought, his everything. All right, to put in place what? The set destruction. This is the beauty of Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai set it up. What did Yahweh Shai say? Let me get that real quick. I'll come back to this. Real quick. Matthew 28 and about 18. And Yahweh Shai came and said and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me, and in heaven and in earth. So every little detail that's being done, All right, from the stupidity of the people that's in power, from the so-called people that look like genius, the people that's playing the role of the being the passive. And what I mean by playing the role of the passive, I'm talking about how Russia, China, and all these they like the more of the peaceable in this situation. That was all by the Lord. How else would the Lord show the shame of Esau to the world if the other nations were doing bad? All right, going down in history like, oh, these guys were the aggressor. No, no, no. The Lord is showing the shame of Esau by making Esau do the most dumbest things in the world. All right, not only exposing his past, exposing his present, exposing his plans for the future. All right, and seeing in few and live events of the sick thoughts and the evil that these people bring, especially the Edomite, Babylonian Edomites. All right, that's how the Lord is doing it. And then and the world's watching, like, wait a minute, you guys claim to be this, claim to be that, and this is what you're doing. So the angels in them is helping him expose himself. And according to the laws of these guys, all that shit, Freemasons and all that, they have to let method of the revelation. They have to let it be known what they're doing. All right, because they believe in karma, universal karma. So if they don't let you know by movie or just by saying, then something bad would happen. I was just watching that movie Ready or Not 2. It's not good as the first one because you know what this is all about. But there's rules and regulations that these demons on earth gotta go by. And what Spirit of the Lord is doing is letting them expose themselves, being revealed. And it doesn't matter what. Like I was talking to a relative of mine's, and when you talk all this shit that's going on in America, the confused state. This is all part of the same scripture, by the way. With the confused state, what's going on with traveling and all sorts of things, and she was like, she was talking to somebody else, another relative, and said like how much they hate Trump. And I said, yeah, you're supposed to hate Trump. You're supposed to hate the wicked. This is why the Lord is doing this, and because people have this strange notion that you're supposed to love every fucking thing. No, you're supposed to hate wickedness. Okay? So the angels are working in the minds of the people. The people are only subject to the forces that they can't see. All right? So them showing their ass and doing the things that they're doing is not by accident, it's not by coincidence. It's to show the world what is wickedness. And it says, for the four angels were loosed. This is part of the loosing, the exposure, the destruction. All right? That's all part of it. The wars, that's part of the loose, which were prepared for an hour, a day, a month, a year, for to slay, so ultimately to do what? To slay the third part of men. And who's the third part of men? Esau. All right. So when you see these signs, matter of fact, where is it at? Luke. Is it 17? Hold on. Malachi. I know there's 1 and 20. Luke's 21 and it kind of makes sense that they would focus over there. Hey, even with the war with Ukraine, chariots was there. You know, anything that goes on this earth, they're there. because they played a significant role in everything that goes on earth. And why is that? Because the Lord wants it that way. All right. This is the Lord's will. Everybody's displaying. Not man's will, is the Lord's will. Okay, I gotta get look up. Uh, Salvation. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sorry. Every time I use this one, not coming up. That's not coming up. Yeah, but when I put that, all right, you know what? It gotta be this chapter. Slakia. Go up. Let me just find it now. This is better. Oh, okay. I know. No, it's near. Maybe it's not salvation. I'm not too sure. Salakia. Luke. I guarantee it's gonna either be. Oh, okay. Now I know I'm miswording it. Then Salakia. Wow. Okay. It's in Luke. I know it's in Luke. Basically, Scripture says salvation is nearer than you think. Look up. I think it says look up. Let's try salvation. Did I try salvation? That is gonna bother me. That's the only one that says salvation. And it was right there in front of my face. It says Luke 21 and 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So our redemption is drawing nigh when we see chariots, when we see all these things, is meaning we're we're about to be delivered. All right, I had put the wrong words in. We're about to be delivered. So simultaneously, you do have Israelites that there. You got Israelites that scattered abroad. All right, and also like I said, the angels are working in the minds of the people. Okay, so they're working in the minds of the people, showing that look, we with you. You know, we with you. We with all this, not for their salvation, for their destruction. They're being put in place for their own demise. So this we some beautiful, beautiful times. All right. I should have read up. It says, they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And that's part of the ultimate glory of the Lord. Is when he returns, he's not coming back by himself. He's not going to meet thee as a man. All right. He's coming the same way he left is the same way he's coming by. That was right there. I can't believe that. I can't believe that's what happens. Acts 1:8, I believe. No, I'm straight to the point 9. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up in a cloud, received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly towards heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why standing ye gazing up into heaven? The same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in a like manner as ye have seen him go into the heaven. So he's coming the same way he left. All right. So the same way Yahushua left is the same way he's coming back. Revelation 1:7 says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierce him. All the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. So the Lord is coming back in a dramatic fashion. So when we see these things, all right, and yes, Esau is going to use Project Bluebeam and all this other shit. You know, he's going to fake his own thing, but that's to this day, that's going to be his demise. All right, he's just doing what he can do to buy him time, and his time is run out. All right, his time is run out. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is about to take this man out of power. All right before our face. And Yahushua is coming with great power to take this man out. And that power is with those chariots. So if you see chariots, it's the Wadi Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And if you don't see it, hey, that's even good too, because guess what? You want to be in it. All right, you want to be there, inside. All right, it's beautiful to look outside, but I want to be inside of it. I seen them. I want to be inside. Isaiah 26:20. It says, Come, my people, endow into the chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thy face as a word for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. How are you going to hide? That's talking about in the chariot. The chamber, when you look up the word chamber, in fact, I got to do that. There's Qadar, chamber, room, parlor. Parlor, if you look it up, that's like an apartment. So within these vehicles, once the Lord delivers certain individuals, guess what? It's going to be as an apartment. It's going to be as something safe that you're familiar with. In other words, safety all around. All right? That's what we want. Okay? Looking them from the outside is one thing, but going inside, that's the major thing. Revelation 11:14, was it 13? 12 actually. It says, And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and the enemies beheld them. So clouds are chariots. Chariots is what the world call UFOs. The UFOs is there for the deliverance and the destruction of America, the destruction of the armies of the world. This is why actually I had this posted up because I know I was gonna forget it. It says this is 12 hours ago. Breaking, more than 1 million fighters in Iran have been prepared for ground battle with the U.S. Reports. So this thing's about to heat up, and doing the math is not mathing. So he's maybe have 10,000 Marines right now. You know, within those 10,000 Marines, they have to have or other participants because you got a 93 million people in Persia, a million man army, plus another million on standby. And this other million that's on standby, so they can't wait their hands. So that battle was going to take place in, oh, I had it too. You know what? I'm going to bring it out too. Slovakia. Yeah.
Hitler didn't want to exterminate the Jews at the time. He wanted to expel the Jews.
See, and all this shit's coming out, man. Where is it? The guy was breaking it down. There it is.
Sir Zhang's geopolitical prediction.
And that's the professor. He right now is like, he be breaking down a lot of stuff. He came out of nowhere. We know the routine. But he been breaking down a lot of stuff. And this is what they've been saying. So this trapping, it's not abnormal. It's normal. It's where the Lord wanted to be done. That's the best way I could say. All right, here we go.
America is officially trapped in the Middle East. It cannot go forward and it cannot go backward. Let me explain the simulation. If America tries to negotiate a ceasefire today, Iran's theoretical demands would be devastating. First, they would demand approximately $1 trillion in economic reparations. Second, they would demand that America removes its military presence from the region forever. If America actually accepts this and leaves, a catastrophic economic chain reaction begins. Without U.S. protection, the Gulf states instantly become client states of Iran. This completely destroys the petrodollar, the system that forces the world to buy oil in U.S. currency. Without the petrodollar creating global demand for U.S. currency, America cannot service its $39 trillion debt. The U.S. economy, which acts like a global Ponzi scheme, would collapse. So the cost of leaving is total financial ruin. But what happens if they stay and escalate? That leads to the ground invasion trap, and it is even worse. In military theory, the logical next step is seizing Karg Island. This tiny island handles 90% of Iran's oil exports. Capturing it looks like a clean, decisive victory on television. But game theory shows you cannot hold it. The island sits right off the coast. The moment U.S. Marines land, they become sitting ducks for Iranian artillery and drone swarms. To protect the island, you must invade the coastline. To protect the coastline, you must secure the Zagros Mountains. Suddenly, you are fighting a massive land war inside one of the most difficult geographic terrains on Earth. This is called mission creep. In 1965, America sent just 3,000 Marines to Vietnam. 4 years later, 500,000 troops were trapped in the jungle. Once blood is spilled, politicians refuse to leave because of the sunk cost fallacy. Admitting defeat becomes psychologically impossible, so the war just grinds on for years.
So if the average person can see this, and let's be technical, everybody out here just not average thoughts, average behavior, average thoughts. There's like I've been saying throughout the whole show, there's a higher purpose. There's a higher reason for everything. If they could see that, how can not the Americans can see that? That they're being set up. Why? Because of pride. And the pride is being is masking their proper judgment, proving that the spirits, all right, that works for the angels in them is plaguing these people, plaguing their minds, and put themselves in a situation of a trap that they can't get themselves out of. So we live in some historical times. Everything is against this man. Everything. Everything that exists is against this man. All right? His world is done. It's over. Finish. Capiche? So you got the angels working in the minds of the masses of the people, and them making all these stupid moves. This man sending thousands. Right now he's just trying to buy time so he could strategically set up the Marines properly, and that's why he keep publicly saying that they won. They won so much. Iran is begging, all just trying to push the public view, and then you send in the troops over there. So everything's coming to fruition. So the Lord's coming to deliver His people and to destroy the armies of the world. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.